right. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the One Nation Sports Chronicles. I'm Heather Shertia, the Executive Director of Digital Wish. We're a nonprofit on a mission to solve the digital divide. We have a jam-packed agenda for you today. We've got sportscaster Sean Belizean in the house. He's had a 2-decade-long career. He's been a radio host for 760, WJR, ESPN 96.1, and Detroit's WDFN, The Fan. And then we've got base stealing legend Dees Gordon coming into the studios. He's played for 3 major MLB franchises, the Marlins, the Mariners, the Dodgers. He's one of the most versatile players in the MLB. He's played the shortstop, second base, center field. He's the first player to lead the National League in batting average and stolen bases since Jackie Robinson in 1949. Throughout the last decade, Dees Gordon has stolen 330 bases, the most of any player in the MLB. We're going to raise money to solve the digital divide today. So without further ado, we're going to get started. Digital Wish is solving the country's largest educational shortfall. There are 11 million students out there that have no connectivity at home to the internet. The donation lines are open. Every $240 that you donate buys 1 hotspot and connects up to 15 family members. Your donations will solve it at connectastudent.org. At any time, you can text the word baseball to 707070. Join us. Let's pull together as one nation. Before we get started, I brought you a little message from Digital Wish.
I pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the nation, to close the digital divide, and to the students for which we stand, one nation, undivided, with equity and education for all. Donate.
All right, let's bring up Sean and let's bring up Dees Gordon. Welcome to the Digital Wish Studios.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to be chatting with this guy. He's got to be pretty excited because I'm sure big baseball fans out there know D. It's been a pretty active last couple days for you. You have an opportunity with the Cincinnati Reds. Let's start there. I mean, that's outstanding for you. It's all any ball player can ask for is, hey, let me come into camp. Let me show you what I can do. Talk about this opportunity with the Cincinnati Reds.
That's pretty much it, man. Just going to show people what I can do. I was a team guy, last couple of years in Seattle, trying to play hurt and everything. And now I'm healthy and I'm able to, do some things that I haven't been able to do in a couple of years.
Dees Gordon kindly join us here. All right, before we go on, I have to talk about that beautiful little angel behind you. I mean, if people look at I'm telling you, you melted my heart. Like behind the scenes, I see that picture come up and I'm going, oh, because I'm a girl dad as well. Tell everybody about your pride and joy.
That's my daughter, Demi. She's about to be 1 on Saturday, and that's my girl.
Oh, isn't that awesome? It is nothing like it, man. You know what? I tell people all the time, D, and I'm sure you're finding that out. You think you know, but until you become a father, you just don't get it. You don't, like, to me, I always use the term, you don't understand how big your heart is and how much love is in there.
Yeah, man. I tell my wife all the time, I'll be like, man, we have another kid. Like, I don't know if I got enough love for more people.
Hey, you know what? That's one of the beautiful things about you, though, man. In doing my research about you, I think people know you as a ball player and people know your history. But obviously, you're a family man, and you're somebody that not only you give in here, but you continue to give back to your community as well. Tell me how that all came about. Is that something you were grown up with? Is that just something that, the light bulb went on as you got older?
Nah, I just kind of always been like that. Like, even when I was little, like, I used to, like, try to fight the bully for the kid getting bullied and stuff, even though I was smaller. But I still try. But it's more like for me, man, I'm from a small town, had a little rough upbringing and end up making it. So to be able to do that, I just figured, man, the best thing I'm here to do is, inspire and make an impact. And I just try to do that.
Dees Strange Gordon kindly joining us here today, and we appreciate his time. And as I mentioned, I think it's worth noting this is a guy that gives in his community and certainly giving here to help out this great cause. You were talking about your upbringing. I mean, people out there probably know Tom Flash Gordon, guys from my generation. Remember him very well. It's amazing that Tom Flash Gordon had a kid that can fly. I mean, that's not lost on me, no doubt about that. But growing up for you, when did you decide, hey, you know what? I want to be a ball player. I have a special set. And was there somebody that you looked up to?
So my dad played with the Phillies when I was in high school. I looked up to Jimmy Rollins. Him and Michael Bourne were like the guys to me. Victorino as well. But my dad and my uncles made the decision for me to play baseball. And so I was going to play basketball in college, and they was like, nah, you're going to play baseball. And I was like, all right, man. Hope it didn't work.
I hear you say that, and I look at all the success you have, whether it be the batting title, whether it be the stolen bases. Is there part of you sometimes that go, man, how did that happen? Because I mean, you make it sound like it's just you know what, basketball. I settle with baseball, and everything. There's got to be that part of you that kind of pinches yourself a little bit, saying, "Man, I've been able to do some things."
Yeah, but I think that's part of why people like look at me a little wrong about baseball, because I should be playing basketball. So I could understand why sometimes people could critique me a little differently from others, because I'm not a baseball player. I'm an athlete playing baseball. But each day and each year I get better and better at being a baseball player. So I think with me literally not playing that much baseball, I actually have a lot left in me.
Was there a time, D, where it finally hit you? My dad, my uncle, they were right. I'm gonna be. It was at that moment that you finally made the majors. When did it hit you where you were like? Because let's be honest, nobody wants to tell their dad and their uncle they're right, right? And we want to make our own path. But was there a moment for you where it hit you where you were like, man, they nailed it?
No. I tell them all the time, I could have played basketball. It would have been so much easier than the basketball contracts went up. I was like, bro, I could have made some money in basketball, bro. Like, man, now I gotta go learn how to play baseball every day. Like, this sucks. No, I'm just playing. But I tell them that all the time. I tell them the truth. I'd be like, you guys, you know what, you was right, and thank you. Pretty much.
Oh, that's outstanding. And again, in case you're just joining us, a pretty cool thing happening for D the last couple of days. He's getting an opportunity with the Cincinnati Reds, certainly an up and coming ball club, and we wish him the best for that. D, what are some of the things I know we're going to hear about why we're here tonight in just about a minute, but what are some of the things you're involved with in your community?
Man, we just so much stuff like domestic violence, especially, a lot of Black neighborhoods are, ran by domestic violence. And, it's pretty much known and prominent in most of these communities now. So just trying to educate the people around my community about it and continue to inspire the kids. I go back and give my time to the kids and everything. So, I think time is more valuable than money, because you can give money and leave. But when you give your time, you actually stay there and make an impact.
Great stuff there, Heather. No doubt about it. And talking to one heck of a ball player, and sounds like a great guy as well in Dees Strange Gordon.
Everybody here who's watching, you have the power to make an impact on Dees local community. Just donate. You can go to connectastudent.org or this link down here, pledge.live/baseball. You can text the word baseball to 707070 to make a donation. Every $240 buys one hotspot. It puts 15 people back online, and it gives them internet service for an entire year. The kids are out of school. If they don't have an internet connection at home, they can't go to school. And so your donations will put those kids back online, bring them back to their school teachers, bring them back to their education. So keep on donating. Back to you.
Great stuff. Hey, you know what? You grew up in a baseball family, as you said. There's no doubt about it. Again, your father, Tom Flash Gordon, amazing. He lasted as long as he did, especially being a pitcher. I mean, you hear about stories about guys' arms going south, whatever the case may be. He was able to stick around for a long time. I know he played a prominent role in your life, certainly after your mother's passing, but was baseball just always there for you as long as you remember?
Whatever my boys wanted to play. We played everything though, growing up. And I remember the one year I played Little League, I think we were 8. And we had it was 8 of us out there, little black kids, and all our uncles and stuff were our coaches, and we were good.
Great stuff. Hey, you know what? You mentioned one of the things near and dear to your heart is domestic violence, and unfortunately, that hit home for you when you were a young man. That's something you had to deal with. For people that maybe aren't familiar with your story, you were a very young man, and your mother's life was taken from you. Is that part of the reason why you're saying, I got to give back? I got to help other people avoid that which I went through at such a young age. I mean, and you were what, 5, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, I was 7.
Oh.
But yeah, that's definitely a big part of it. Because once that happens, people don't understand. Once that happens to the kid's parents, thank God it wasn't my dad. You see what I'm saying? So I had an out to go to my dad's family. But people don't understand. Usually these kids, after your mom's gone, that's your biggest protector. And once she's gone, you kind of out here to defend for yourself. And when you're defending for yourself, I want these kids to know, you can defend for yourself, but you can still become somebody too. Don't just stop because, the best thing in your life is gone, but you can still be somebody and make that person proud.
That is such a powerful message, Dee, and I'm sure you've heard 100 times. Make this 101. Taking what is an unspeakable tragedy, and one, I thank the Lord every day that my mother's still with me. For you to take such an unspeakable tragedy and turn that into the positive that you have since being 7 years old, man. Props to you for doing that. And I'm sure that's the message. Hey, listen, been there, done that, but don't let that define you. I'm guessing that's the message that you're sending to the kids.
Yeah, pretty much in a nutshell. It's happened. I mean, but do everything you would do if she was here, supporting you, still go live out your dreams like she's there. That's pretty much it.
I'm sure she's watching you and proud of the ball player you become, but most importantly, proud of the man and father you become as well. Dees Gordon, kindly joining us. I was saying before you joined us, there was a time when I was a kid, stolen bases were everywhere. You had Vince Coleman stealing hundreds, Ron LaFleur. I mean, you got all these guys, maybe when your dad was first starting out is what happened to the stolen base, man? Why don't we see more guys like Dees Gordon ripping those bases off?
Because, man, they don't want the big boys in there.
Yeah.
They want the big guys in there. I mean, I can't blame them. You know what I'm saying? Home runs are awesome, but that's just what they want. I'm not here to make excuses for anybody or anything or dispute anything, honestly. I'm going to take my opportunities when I get them and do the best I can do with them. So, I mean, it's weird because it's all year no one does play baseball other than hit homers, but in the postseason, you see the best teams do it. So it's I don't know, man. I don't really know what to say. I'm just going to go out there when they call my name. I'm going to go do my thing, and it's going to work 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about your versatility when we come back because, you heard Heather say it. That's one thing that I think point blank that continues a lot of careers. And that's something that you got going for you. Once again, Dee Strange Gordon kindly joining us here. Heather, I know you wanted to throw something out there. So before we continue the conversation with Dee, Heather, what do you have for us?
Well, the donation lines are open and a lot of donations have come in already. Let's get a quick update. We've got $885 in donations. Whatever you can afford to give is going to put these kids back in school, because 11 million kids don't have a connection to their schools at home. So we're going to give them hotspots. So keep on donating. Thanks for your donations. Keep them coming in. So back to you, Sean.
Tell me about your versatility. Is that just something that, again, it just happened for you? Is that something that you worked on young? I mean, you are, Dee, there's no other way to say it. You're a guy that is known for his versatility. There aren't a lot of guys like you that, somebody could say, Gordon, go play second. Yeah, you go out to left field, whatever the case may be. When did that all come about for you?
They don't want me to play second. It seems like it's too easy. So they can put me other places. I gotta
kidding.
go play.
Is that something, when you were coming up, maybe playing high school ball or into college, is that something, did they move you around much?
No, it just started 3 years ago.
No kidding.
Yeah, I was a shortstop.
How do you
I've
like
always
it?
been a shortstop. With the versatility part?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather just play one position. That's everybody, just get your name etched in one position. But sometimes, you got to just do what you got to do, because you got to feed your family as well. So that was just the positions I was put in, and I just had to handle it.
I've seen it so many times in the majors, and I've watched it happen, I grew up in Detroit, and I watched really great players, at some point in time in the career. Well, we're going to try you out at third, or we're going to try you out in the outfield. For non-athletes, it's only outfield. Talk about that transition for you. I mean, you're a guy that's played shortstop your whole life, and all of a sudden, Gordon, we need you out in left field. I mean, how did that translate for you?
I just caught it, man. I just caught the ball. I just caught the ball. That's it.
Really? It that easy for you, huh?
No, but you can't look bad out there. You're a big leaguer, so you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta help the team. You can't, or you're not gonna be in a lineup. At the end of the day, it's people behind you who want to play as well. So you just gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta suck it up and do what you gotta do. Because honestly, it's already a blessing to be there. Especially for myself, I'm not the biggest human in the world. Probably a lot of people look at me like you don't belong here. So it's easier to put me here, and that's okay. I got to do what I got to do, though.
What a great mentality to take, though. I love hearing that. What do you need me to do? Because it's I'm sure you got to laugh if you hear, whether it be a beat writer or fans talk about it. Oh, come on, man. How difficult is it to play outfield? And you just laugh when you hear that, right? I can tell on the look on your face right now. Dee, for me, like, honestly, I was shagging balls a few years back at Comerica Park, and I could not track the ball. And I was like, I am never, ever going to rip on an outfielder ever again in my life. If the guy makes an error, I'm going to go, dude, I get it. That's a difficult thing to do, man. I threw my hands up. I'm going to get my head smashed, that's not easy, bro.
I remember the first time I went out there. So I was a Gold Glove finalist like the year before. They're like, hey, we need you to go out here. I'm like, all right, cool. And so the coach go, hey, I need you to know something. I was like, what's up? He was like, you are last line of defense. If the ball get past you, we're in trouble. Yo, what? Like, hold on, what? Like, hold on. I'm used to, if I'm in the infield, I dive. It's a base hit. And my job over. So you mean tell me I got to dive? All right, I got it. Cool. Last line of defense. All right, let's do it.
Dee Strange Gordon kindly joining us. We got a few minutes left with him. Hey, I want to ask you some questions about the majors. I'm sure you're asked these questions all the time, but people that aren't familiar with this, best ball player that you've played with?
With or against?
How about with? against? Whatever one comes to your mind easier.
All right. Best ball player I played with, Clay Kershaw, for sure.
Pretty hard to argue that.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, I'm thinking about position. I'm like, hold on, Kershaw. Stop. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop
How about against? Let's start with best hitter that you've seen. Best hitter you've seen.
Best hitter I've ever seen. BP or the real game?
I'm going to player's choice here. Player's choice. How's that?
How about I give you one of each?
Okay.
How about I give you the most impressive BP homer I ever seen?
All right. Love to hear it.
All right. Best hitter I ever seen, honestly, Nelson Cruz. Like face to face, or really young, like Robert. Damn, I've been around so many of them. I'm gonna go Nelson Cruz. But best BP I ever seen, I seen Ohtani hit the third deck dead center. And
are you serious? Ohtani,
yeah,
really?
It was a Japanese flag up there. He hit it like right by the Japanese flag. I was like, I like how he did it. Jesus.
Nelson Cruz was a Tiger killer. I mentioned being in Detroit. I watched Nelson Cruz kill the Tigers, so I am not going to argue with that one. Best pitcher you've ever faced.
Best pitcher I ever faced. Crazy. So number ones and number twos, I get hits off of them. I hit them. Doug Fister, I could not get a hit off of.
No kidding.
Swear. And my worst game ever was against Bronson Arroyo. He was on the Diamondbacks. Mm-hmm. He needed Tommy John. He was throwing 78-mile-an-hour fastballs, and I could not touch him because I can't hit soft. I could not hit soft back then. Like, if it was under 88, I could not touch
it. Dude's cranking off for Kershaw, but Arroyo's getting him with the Ephus pitch. Oh, that's beautiful.
I'm talking about, bro. He threw that. I was like, oh my God, oh man, I can't do no with that one. That's too slow. I rode over the second every swing I took. I promise. I was like, this is crazy.
Oh, that's great stuff. No, hey man, I'll tell you what. It is a pleasure to talk to you. I've watched you for years. And now that I've chatted with you, you're just a genuine guy. And I think I can speak for a lot of people out there. Number one, thanks for doing what you do. And number two, I wish you nothing but success. And you take care of that little princess behind you, too.
I definitely will. Say bye. She gonna
isn't she adorable? Ladies and gentlemen, Dees Strange Gordon kindly joining us. And Heather, I appreciate you making this conversation happen. And I know you have some important news to tell people as well.
Sure thing. Well, for any late attendees, there's going to be a recording available of the interview at connectastudent.org. Thank you, everyone, for donating. Thank you, Dee. Thank you, Sean. We really appreciate everything you're doing for the digital divide. You can continue to donate at any time. Just text the word baseball to 707070. Watch for future One Nation Sports Chronicles. We're going to bring together sportscasters and ball players as one nation to come together to solve the digital divide. Thank you, everyone.
No money for hotspots? No internet? No education? No kid should be out of school. It's about connectivity and even equity. Donate. Help us close the digital divide.